Julie is doing this. Chris Richcreek, Senior Features Editor, King Features. Introduction. Last November, 2017, my column celebrated a milestone: 1,000 columns in continuous weekly publication in the Greenwich Time, Connecticut, and the Stanford Advocate, Connecticut. During that 20-year period, I've interacted with hundreds of people who wrote to or visited with me to discuss their challenges, concerns, and questions. You might ask, what drove me to write weekly columns while running a portfolio management practice, Jackson Grant Investment Advisors, Inc., and writing a few books along the way? This is how all of this writing started. I had a client, a lawyer, who did not participate in his 401k at work. Since I knew that any investment he could make on his own outside of the 401k was not company matched and tax advantaged, I encouraged him to rethink his decision. To give him a hand, I paid a visit to my local bookstore with the intention of buying a book for him, and found none that told the true story behind the 401k's compounding potential. So, very simply, I decided to write that book for him and everyone else who needed to think of a 401k as an investment alternative, as opposed to a passive employee benefit plan. The book, You and Your 401k, was published in 1996. The column came in 1998 after another book I wrote on 401ks, this time for sponsors, the 401k Plan Handbook. Because I began my Wall Street career as a lawyer, I was used to writing prospectuses and proxy statements and spending late nights proofreading at the financial printer. As I moved into money management at a major Wall Street firm, I acquired an understanding of investments from a number of different perspectives. I saw investment products created and sold through the firm's retail sales force. Before 9/11, I observed Benjamin Graham's Mr. Market firsthand during my time on the floor of an exchange that was housed in the World Trade Center. And at my firm, Jackson Grant, I experienced direct client relationships leading to an appreciation of the complexity of financial decision-making and the importance of family dynamics. That's the backstory. The drive behind continuing my writing and speaking is this: how to make good investment decisions is not something humans pick up easily on their own. Through my dialogue with readers, I want to share a message of both promise and watchfulness. Promise: in today's fast-moving financial world, a family's attainment of financial security is always a work in progress, and there is always room for improvement. Watchfulness: it's far better to develop healthy skepticism than wishful thinking. I've interacted with hundreds of people who were faced with the need to make important financial decisions without the necessary foundation to do so. Financial literacy is simply not a life skill that we all possess. But what's even more important is recognizing that for anyone who wants to retire securely, more is needed beyond literacy. The more being financial fluency, a term I credit to Chris Brule, the CEO of the Business Council of Fairfield County, Connecticut, my home state. The occasion was a recent breakfast at Starbucks and a discussion of a series of 4 public financial literacy presentations I was planning with Hearst, the publisher of the 2 papers that launched my column in 1998, the Greenwich Time and the Stanford Advocate. Under the umbrella of retirement security came cash flow management in good markets and bad, charitable giving, alternative investments, and the integration of estate and financial planning. Indeed, when we're talking about retirement security, financial fluency more accurately describes what is needed. With that as a backdrop, let me tell you about the purpose of this book. It is to share my dialogue with readers who raised concerns and asked questions over the years, with a special focus on retirement security, and in doing so, to share some tools and insights that might be useful to you. In this book, you will find market data, insights, and resources from my expert sources, such as Standard & Poor's, Morningstar, and Value Line, as well as associations such as the Investment Company Institute and the American Association of Individual Investors, developments from regulators such as FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, the U.S. Department of Labor,